For most of human history, reproduction was a completely internal, concealed biological mystery. Over the last century, we have extracted the origins of human life from the dark environment of the body and placed them under the microscope, making the start of life a visible clinical process. To understand the engineering required to do this, we have to look at the baseline restrictions of the human endocrine system. Normally, this system strictly limits the female body to maturing a single microscopic egg every month. Furthermore, women have a finite, non-regenerating ovarian reserve. Over time, this bank of eggs steadily drains, drastically decreasing in total quantity and structural quality. As the remaining eggs age, they become highly susceptible to chromosomal abnormalities, which increases the risk of miscarriage. Combine this degrading reserve with external factors like severe male infertility, where sperm lack the motility to penetrate the egg, and natural conception often fails. We cannot reverse this biological clock. To solve the problem, medical science bypasses the physical process, using chemical overrides and laboratory conception to neutralize these natural barriers. The process begins by shutting down the patient's natural menstrual cycle. Doctors administer daily injections of exogenous hormones, like follicle-stimulating hormone. This artificial chemical surge forces the ovaries to recruit and develop dozens of eggs simultaneously, instead of just one. Timing the next step is an exact science. Exactly 34 to 36 hours after a final hormone trigger, precisely before natural ovulation occurs, a surgeon guides a hollow aspiration needle directly into the ovary, siphoning out the fluid containing the mature eggs. Once extracted, the gametes are unified. If the sperm count is critically low or motility is poor, embryologists use a microsurgical technique called ICSI. Using micromanipulators, they immobilize a single morphologically optimal sperm cell, draw it into a microscopic glass pipette, and inject it straight inside the cytoplasm of the mature egg. The newly formed zygotes are immediately transferred into specialized incubators. These chambers strictly regulate temperature, humidity, and gas levels to artificially mimic the exact physiological conditions of the human fallopian tubes. Here, the embryos grow for 5 to 6 days until they reach a complex multicellular blastocyst stage. Through these precise sequenced interventions, clinical embryology replaces the unpredictable biology of human generation with a calibrated, observable manufacturing process. This entire medical framework rests on foundational work from the mid-20th century. In the United Kingdom, physiologist Robert Edwards and gynecologist Patrick Steptoe achieved the first successful human in vitro fertilization in 1969. A decade of trial and error followed, resulting in the birth of Louise Brown in 1978, a medical success that brought the two British doctors universal celebration. Yet a parallel breakthrough happened nearly simultaneously. Just 67 days after Louise Brown was born, the world's second and Indy's first IVF baby arrived. She was conceived using a completely independent methodology developed by Kolkata-based physician Dr. Subhash Mukhopadhyay. But unlike his British counterparts, Dr. Mukhopadhyay lacked the institutional backing of elite academic networks. The local government convened an investigative committee filled with officials who had no training in modern reproductive endocrinology. After subjecting him to aggressive interrogations, they officially denounced his research as entirely bogus. The state barred him from traveling to international conferences, effectively cutting him off from the global scientific community. Facing total professional ostracization and bureaucratic harassment, Dr. Mukhopadhyay took his own life in 1981. It took until the late 1990s for researchers to uncover his meticulously documented notes and posthumously validate his work. His fate is a reminder of how scientific truth is established. The successful integration of advanced reproductive technology into society depends as heavily on fragile institutional egos and elite political credibility as it does on laboratory science. Even with total institutional backing and perfect laboratory execution, IVF remains bound by biology. SART and CDC data reveal that clinical success rests on a single overriding variable, the maternal age at the time of oocyte retrieval. This chart maps out live birth rates by maternal age. When patients use their own eggs, success peaks around 50% for women under 35. But after the late 30s, those probabilities drop sharply, reaching under 5% for patients over 42. Now look at what happens when patients of advanced age use healthy donor eggs. The live birth rates immediately rebound and stabilize above 50%, mirroring the success of women in their early 30s, regardless of the age of the patient carrying the pregnancy. This data proves the uterine environment rarely fails with age. The biological barrier is almost entirely isolated to the degrading quality of the egg. This reality has fueled the rapid, multi-billion-dollar expansion of the global commercial egg donor market. This chart illustrates the extreme global disparities in how much this treatment costs. In the fragmented U.S. healthcare system, a single IVF cycle carries heavy premiums, peaking near $30,000. In contrast, massive patient volumes and affordable domestic generic medications allow clinics in India to offer the same procedures for under $4,600, making the country a global hub for medical tourism. Modern clinical capability has expanded into the genetic code itself. Today, embryologists routinely utilize microscopic lasers to biopsy cells from a developing blastocyst. Through pre-implantation genetic testing, they sequence the DNA to identify and remove severe inherited chromosomal anomalies before a pregnancy is established. But standard screening cannot fix diseases originating in the mitochondria, the energy powerhouses of the cell. Because mutated mitochondrial DNA is inherited from the mother and causes fatal multi-organ pathologies, scientists have developed a radical intracellular workaround known as mitochondrial replacement therapy. This technique physically re-engineers the egg. The healthy nuclear DNA from the intended parents is extracted and inserted into a donor egg that has healthy mitochondria but has been hollowed of its own nucleus. The resulting zygote requires the genetic material of 3 separate individuals to survive. Laboratory fertilization has integrated with global marketplaces and experimental gene editing. This evolution forces global societies to reconcile rapid scientific capability with established bioethical standards. Because the United States prohibits human germline modification, one American doctor in 2016 transported a patient carrying a lethal mitochondrial mutation across the border into Mexico just to legally perform this 3-parent transfer. To dive deeper into the global bioethics and medical frontiers shaping our future, check out the rest of the videos on the EduScience channel. If you want your daily dose of fact-based science, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and we will see you